welcome to this session. I'm really looking forward to it. We have Andrea Bozzi here with us, and he's going to be talking about how to create a video marketing strategy. So we know video marketing is some of the most important stuff that we put out there. We love to watch videos as humans. We're scrolling through and it catches our eye. So we want to be efficient and good at this. So we're going to delve into this topic today. And I want you to ask any questions that you have for Andrea. He's going to be taking questions at the end, but feel free to drop those questions into the chat, the Q&A function, or the comment section throughout this session. So we've got them all lined up for the end. Now, we are streaming on a number of platforms. So if you want to re-watch this video, you can use that as a tool. Or if you've tuned in with us via Zoom, you'll receive a link to the session and a thank you for attending email. Or you can always view any of the videos that we have run to date, any of the sessions, by going into the in case you missed it section and selecting that piece of content that you're looking for. So without further ado, thanks, Andrea, for coming in today. We're really appreciative of your time and expertise. Likuid Media. I love Likuid Media as a title. It's just like, oh yeah.
Thanks for that. Glad it resonates with you. And yeah, thanks again for having me here. Really pumped and excited to be part of the Digital Boost. And I can't wait to, share lots of insights with the audience, because I think that video marketing is very important. It needs to be done right. And there's just so many options out there, right? Like all these social media platforms are literally become a video platform. So it's good to have a strategy, a roadmap that can help you achieve your goals rather than trying, to chuck something against the wall and hoping that it sticks. So yeah, this presentation will bring you a bit more clarity and how to be strategic about video marketing. So yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I know we've got all these other sessions lined up after this session as well. We've got a couple more. So I'm looking forward to those as well. And I'll make sure to let you guys know what we have coming up if you haven't seen it yet by the end of the session. So I'll let you drive. If you want to share your screen, I'll just make sure it's working. And then,
sure.
Yeah, I'll let you take over.
Cool. Share. Can you see me? All right.
I can see you.
Yes. Let me just check the audio.
Okay.
If the audio was stick correctly. So share screen. Do you remember what it says?
Yeah. In the bottom.
Share computer sound.
Yeah, perfect. Share computer sound.
We've got that. Share.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Great.
Yep. Cool. Can everybody see it?
You're ready. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay, so video marketing strategy in 5 steps. Once again, really excited to bring you closer to this topic today. So let's jump right into it. So these are the 5 elements of a video marketing strategy, and it's really important that we get these right. So we have the audience over here, we have the goals, we have the content, we have distribution, and the production. And as you can see, all of these 5 elements are overlapping. They are interdependent from each other, but they all overlap. I'm going to see why in a second when I go closer into it. But to make it clear, it's important to start from your audience, because knowing your audience is going to establish the goals that you want to achieve. And once you know the goals, you will define the type of content to put out, right? What type of videos? And once you've established that, you will put out strategies for distribution. And only then we are going to clarify the method of production. So for example, if you're going to film it yourself or you're going to hire someone. So, and after we know the production, this is basically going to drive the engagement back to the audience, because this is ultimately who's going to be watching. Cool. So let's start with the audience. As you can see, people are very different from each other. If your target audience is this lady over here, she has completely different needs and talks completely different from this guy over here. They might hang out on different channels. So it's really important that we paint a clear picture and really establish, who will be watching the vehicles. And if you think about it, actually the video is merely a vehicle that allows the transformation of the audience, because all we want to do with marketing is we want the people to take some sort of action, right? So we really need to understand who that someone is by defining the customer personas. And, often business owners think that knowing only the demographics of their audience is enough. So for example, male and female, age 25 to 55, right? But that doesn't actually give us enough information about how our audience thinks, right? And how they really, what's in their hearts, really. So it's important that we research the customer journey, and I'm going to talk about the customer journey a couple slides down the road. But it's really important that we analyze the audience needs and the behaviors. So the demographics would be mainly, gender and age, for example, but we also need to understand the psychographics. So it sounds a bit full on, but psychographic is merely an explanation to say, what's going on in their heads, like what are the main values, the pains and the wants. And after that, we can also have like a behavior profile that will help us understand, on a deeper level, like, where do they hang out? Where do they go look for information? And in order to do that, we can do a single question survey, right? Because as a business owner, you might not know the pain points of your customers, or what their behaviors are. So it's really simple to do some customer research by doing single question survey. This could be done either by email, if you have a database of contacts, or even on social media. It's as easy as do like Instagram polls, or you can do like a survey on SurveyMonkey or Google Forms. And the fundamental question that you have to ask your audience is, what is the biggest struggle when it comes to, and then blank, so what your business does. So for example, in my case, it'll be, what's your biggest struggle when it comes to video marketing? You really want to understand what they're trying to achieve with it as well, So another question could be, what is the goal for you with video marketing? What do you want to achieve? So after you've done these surveys, you'll have a much better understanding of, the pains and wants, and all this information can then be entered in a customer personas map. Okay, so this is really starting, this is really fundamental that you guys need to understand this. I know this is far from the video, but this is really setting a foundation, and this is going to be really helpful for the rest of your marketing approach, be it content or any other channels that you're going to be using. So for example, you could have, persona 1 or persona 2. You might have different personas according to your business. It's obviously different from each industry. We want to write down the pain points and the needs of the customer and what they actually want. What do they want? And also we're going to write down the channels where they hang out. And once again, if you don't know this information, these surveys are going to be great to find out. So in my example, for example, at Likuid Media, I have two different types of personas. I have, for example, business owners over here, male and females between 35 and 60. And what are the pain points and needs? So for example, they don't know where to get started with video. Probably someone that is watching right now would have these pain points. Perhaps they have the lack of video editing skills. And what is it that, this customer wants? They want to perhaps outsource the video production, find someone professional because they've done it themselves, but it didn't really work out. And the channels where they hang out is Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And then I have the second persona that is a marketing manager, male and female, 25 to 40. And their pain points and needs is that they want to create a video campaign, but they don't know where to start. So what is it that they want? They want a clear strategy that they can present to their boss. Okay, and this is basically something that you're going to be learning today, because this is a live video in the end. Okay, so this is how I'm serving the needs of my customer persona. And where do these people hang out? Instagram and LinkedIn and TikTok. So this is just an example to give an understanding of how the customer personas map should be looking like. And I invite you to do the same as well. So once we've had a better understanding of the audience, we now want to understand or define our goals. Okay, because you need to have goals with every strategy, right? Otherwise, you're just shooting a bit in the blind and you're not really going to get any results. So it's really important to define what your marketing and business goals are. for example, a business goal, it's always like a higher purpose. So for example, we want to start exporting our product, right? A marketing goal would be, we want to increase conversion rate, or we want to reduce bounce rate on our website. We want to lower cost per clicks, or we just want to get more conversions, for example. So generally speaking, the goals are the following, but there's also many more. This is just an example. So usually, marketing goal would be to increase brand awareness, right? We want to be able to boost our brand awareness so that people can recognize our brand, get familiar with the logo and really feel attracted to our brand. The next one would be social engagement. We want to put video content out that is going to get us shares, that is going to get us watch time, that is going to get us comments. And this usually gets done with helpful video content, like educational type based of video. And then we're going to have conversions, obviously. So, we want the people as a business to buy our stuff, be it products or services, right? And another goal that is relevant is customer delight. So we want to be able to, once we've converted the customer, actually retain them, make them become a real fan of us, so that this person actually goes out and tells all their friends and becomes a brand ambassador. So these are some goals that you can set for your strategy. And there's going to be different type of videos that are going to achieve these type of goals, because in the customer journey that we're going to see in a second, this plays a vital role. So once we've established our goals, we then go and decide what the content is going to look like. Okay, so this is ultimately defining what are your video deliverables. Okay, so what type of videos are we going to produce? Because different type of content is going to achieve different type of goals, as we have established beforehand, right? So as you can see, this strategy is all connected and all overlapping. And it's really important that you define your core messages in your video, because as we said, video is a vehicle for communication, right? What do you want to communicate with your content? So it's really important that you define the core messaging here as well, and really have a strategic content planning process, to allow for different video content to achieve different goals at different stages of the customer journey. And we can go also further and build a full video sales funnel. This is really a strategy that we should implement in order to have a complete, let's say, 360 degrees approach to really touch the different touch points of our customers. So this is what I'm going to be breaking down right now. Cool. So this is the customer journey, or the sales funnel as well. I'm sure that you guys are familiar with it, or perhaps you would have seen it already before. Whenever a customer wants to interact with you, there are at different stages of this funnel, right? There are people that are already aware of you, someone that are considering your brand, and someone that needs to be already converted. And as we move down this funnel, the touch points here are more emotional. And as the customer comes down here to the conversion phase, now it's going to be a more rational decision. Okay, I'm going to make this example, I'm going to use an analogy of dating, okay, to make this clear furthermore. So, obviously at the end of the day, if you think about it, getting new customers or converting customers is a bit like dating, right? So what happens when we going out and, are trying to look for some matches? So we try to make an emotional connection to a person that in order to attract them, right? So we, smile or make compliments, and we sort of make the step forward. We almost like break the ice to introduce ourselves in order to make that initial contact, right? So this can be done by storytelling. Once again, if you meet someone for the first time, you get to know them, you tell jokes to make the person laugh, etc., etc. So after you've sort of introduced each other and know who each other are, you want to engage them and build trust, right? This is the consideration phase. This is where you go out on, let's say, a couple of more dates to really understand the person on a deeper level, right? You want to have a deeper connection with this person. See, are the benefits, what are the benefits of actually going out with this person? Does this person have the right features for me? Do we share the same values? Or perhaps, I should dump this person now and look for someone else, right? And this is all sort of relating to business, and I'll come back to that in a second. So then the conversion, let's say the conversion phase would be actually asking the person to start a relationship, right? We ask a commitment, we want them to convert, making a commitment to, let's say, start a relationship and have a long-term relationship together. So this is where we want to try to remove the barriers by making, an offer. Say, hey, would you like to be my girlfriend or my boyfriend, etc. And then, once that phase has been sort of conquered, we want them to obviously stay with us, right? So we want to keep our partners, in order to retain them. So this is where, we want to delight them, like, being helpful, being supportive for them, and really help them deeper to grow together. So I hope this has made sense, because this is also very relatable in business. And I'm going to relate this now to the business and how this can be achieved whenever you want to reach out to your customers. So in the awareness phase, this is the final introduction. This is where we want to attract the customers via storytelling, by positioning our brand. It's that first sort of icebreaker, right? If you think back of the dating. So in order to achieve that, we can do brand videos. We can have a video describing our company profile, the services that we do, etc. We can also use explainer videos, or, for example, having a short documentary. This is really that first phase where we want to introduce ourselves, to say what we do. And once we've attracted the person, once there's like this initial touch points that are being established, now the person are going to see, okay, right, that sounds interesting. Now, let me find this a bit deeper, sort of. This is now the phase where we want to engage our potential customers, educate them, and build trust. So this can be done with webinars, like we're doing now pretty much. Do behind the scenes videos so they can learn more about the business and how the daily operations work. We can do how-to videos or explainer videos, once again, really trying to add value or showing the benefits of a specific product, right? So we could do a product demo to show, all the benefits and features that a specific product has, now that the person has been already introduced to each other. And so now the goal is to push them to the next phase, which is the conversion. So this is obviously where we want to have a purchase decision. So here we're going to try to remove all the barriers in order to trigger a purchase. So if someone's on the fence, what's the best way to push them over that last step? It's by showing testimonials, or like video testimonials, or case studies are really, really great tools. So if you're in the B2B space, doing a video of your clients that will explain how it was to work with you and why they're really happy, this will help the conversion of other clients that are stuck, let's say, in this stage here. Or if you're selling a product, you can also do a promotional video. For example, you could say, buy in the next 2 weeks and you're going to get X amount off, or we're going to give you free shipping, or you receive free accessories. So once again, for someone that is really on the fence about purchasing, this is the last step, by using these type of videos in order to put them to the conversion. And once they've become a customer, you can go even further and do, for example, onboarding videos or training, in order that they are going to be even more delighted, and they're going to stay with you for a longer time, and also perhaps go and talk to their friends and become your brand ambassadors. And once again, we're seeing this emotional a decision making at the beginning of this stage, and the more down we go rational. Okay, because here, this is really where the fun part is, where people have to think rationally. Okay, does this product actually meet my needs or service, obviously? So I want to do an example because because this is like the theory, and I want to sort of apply that to an example. So let's say there's this imaginary company called Barbecue Boss. Okay, they want to do a video marketing campaign. So in the attraction, this actually needs to be awareness phase. I need to change the last minute, but this is the awareness phase where they want to be attracting new customers through storytelling. So a typical video for this would almost be like a TV commercial, right? I'm not saying you should do TV commercial, but think about it as, a beautiful professionally filmed video with, a couple of mates on the backyard having beers and like close up of like this delicious, perfectly cooked steak, really showing that, the messaging would be, summer is coming, get your mates together. It's time to get the Barbie fired up, So once again, we're going to appeal to the people's emotion. We're not going to talk that, the features of the products yet, because we want to make that initial connection first. After that, the next type of videos that they could do is the consideration phase. So this is once again where they have to engage with their customers or their prospects, and they should be educated them and build further trust. So for example, a video could be, a tutorial, how to cook the perfect steak or how to marinate chicken, for example, doing a video about, the difference between gas and a charcoal Barbie, because this is going to, again, now frame the people to say, okay, is this product the actual one that I need? And how can we build further trust? And then the third one would be now to push them over to the conversion and triggering an action that, leads to a purchase. So a video that advertises free shipping or free returns would be perfect for it. Or perhaps doing a video that says, if you buy for this month, you're going to get free accessories with it, all the kit for the perfect barbecue. Or we could also send our product to an influencer for them to review our product, because I'm pretty sure that every one of you have watched reviews, right, about specific products. So having a third party actually doing a review can be even more beneficial, which is still, part of the video marketing strategy, even if you're not producing the content yourself. And then the last part, these are videos that can be found probably on your website already once the customer is retained, how to assemble your barbecue or, cleaning and maintenance, so they can have really a barbecue, a product that will last forever and they will refer their friends to. Cool. So I want to show you like an example of videos that I've worked with, that I've produced. So one of the clients is Oxfam Trailwalker Aotearoa. So this is a nonprofit organization that organizes fundraising events where people have to walk in teams of 4 people and do a walk over a weekend for 50 and 100 kilometers. And they have to raise funds. And these funds will be used then to fight poverty. So I filmed a promotional video for them. This is like the event launch video here in the awareness stage that I'm going to show you now. And pay attention how we use these tools in order to have the effective video. So I'm going to play this on YouTube. Okay, so this event took place last year and it's in Taranaki, and it's going to take place again this year in Taranaki. So we use this imagery to basically get people in this awareness stage and to be made aware of the event, right? For someone that never heard of this event before, and we used all emotional cues, right? If you follow the text, it said, challenge poverty or change the world one step at a time. challenge yourself. We had shots of people smiling, people crying. It's a very emotional cue that comes out of this video, because this is how you're going to connect with people emotionally in the first phase. So after that, Oxfam Trail Walker actually in the consideration phase, once the people got interested, they did a lot of live videos and training for people that were considering to sign up for the event. So in these live videos, they were considering things that were important to cover. So for example, how much training do I need, et cetera, so that they could really educate their audience and build further trust. And after that, what we did is we filmed a couple of case studies to show the story and testimonies of people that had actually done the event. And this really served as the last sort of a push to get the people to sign up to the event. So I'm going to show you a quick testimonial here. And Marie was one of the ladies here that you can see that took part in the Oxfam Trail Walker.
Oxfam Trail Walker had a huge impact on my life, definitely with my mental health. I'm feeling like a better mum and a better person, and of course my fitness level has gone up because I'm doing a lot more training. I started on my journey with walk running 10 years ago, and I was overweight. I was probably 40 kg overweight. So I was not in a healthy place mentally or physically. My biggest piece of advice if you're starting out and getting into your walking or running journey is to take it step by step. So look at your fitness level and any injuries you've had, your family life, because it's got to work for your family first so that the training can fit in. If you put in the training beforehand, you give yourself plenty of time, it means that you're prepared and you're ready and you can plan them in advance. So look at it as a real positive thing and a change for your life, rather than, oh well, I'm gonna, how am I gonna fit it all in? Because you're doing something for this amazing charity to help prevent poverty. What's better than that? And then you're also gonna get fit and feel amazing.
Okay, so in this video here, let's close this up real quick. In this video here, basically, that was the last push for people where they had to take a rational decision, right? And Marie was explaining, if you give yourself plenty of time and train it bits by bits, you can do it. Don't stress out. Take it as a really good opportunity for your life. So, this is where people were taking a rational decision, and she was giving all this information basically. And so once people signed up, what Oxfam did is, they did more live videos to educate people, okay, what type of gear do we need for the day, etc. And I'm not going to show you the live videos because they're obviously way too long. But yeah, coming back to us, it's really important that, you have different type of videos here. Let's go back to this slide, that you have different type of videos here for each touch point of the customer. Okay, it's almost like having different baits that you can, reel in your customers, because you might have someone that don't know you at all. And then you might have someone that already is considering, and you might have a couple of prospects that just need a little push, right? So the ones that are up here, they're going to go through the complete funnel, but some that are at different stages will need different type of videos. So this is once again, the funnel that they have to go through, also known as the customer journey. So all of this good stuff was part of the content, right? Going back to our overall strategy. So we were here. I know we went a bit off topic, but it's really important that you guys understood that. So the content is going to be different at each step of the customer journey. So once we've decided what type of videos we want to do, we then have to decide, where will the content be displayed? Okay, where are we going to publish this content? And there's a variety of platforms that we can use, starting from your website. Website is a great place to start, because having a video on your website means that your visitor is going to stay longer on your website, right? And this will further increase your SEO ranking, because the session time is going to go up, as well as, Google likes to have video content on the website. So that's very beneficial. You can put a video on a landing page as well. So this is similar to a website. It's kind of like a sub page of your website where you're promoting specific offers or services. And then obviously blog. If you have a blog, video is a great place to blog is a great place to embed your video, because people perhaps don't always like reading. So having a supporting video with that is going to give you even more benefits. And if you have an email database, obviously EDMs or email campaigns are great to give further distribution to this video wherever you do. And then obviously we have social media, which is massive. As I said, it's just like probably one of the easiest platform to publish video, but we have to do it right. So we have to understand the native differences between all of the major platforms. So we have YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn and TikTok. So, and this is really important because obviously, a video that, if your distribution is going to be YouTube, the video is going to be completely different from TikTok, right? So it's really important that we go strategically about where we put this content. And this also obviously depends on where your audience is hanging out. That's why we previously mapped, where is our audience going. And it's also really interesting if you have a tiered distribution. So what does that mean? It basically means having one primary channel where you keep your main content, where your basically customer is at all times, and then do little variations for different secondary channels. So for example, you could put a 5 minutes doco or tutorial on YouTube, right? Because people go to YouTube to watch longer form content, but then actually chop that down in like 30 or 60 second segments for Instagram, to have on Reels. So then people can be fed this content and they can then go and find the long form content on the primary source. So this is a tiered distribution strategy. I'm going to show you an example just in a second. And then paid advertising as well is obviously something that you should consider as a business, because as most of you know, most of the social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram, the audience, the reach that you get if you put a video out is not too great. Okay. TikTok is great for reach at the moment, but if you really want to drive conversions, once again, going back to your goals, you should consider paid advertising. So this could be Facebook ads or YouTube ads or LinkedIn ads as well, or TikTok ads. This is basically putting ad spend towards the platform to give your video more reach so that your content can be seen from more people. And I'm just quickly going to show you, like, this is one example on Facebook ads. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but for some of you that are unfamiliar of how paid advertising work, I just want to show you. So this is a targeting tool. If you want to run a Facebook ad and show them to your people, going back to the barbecue example. Okay, so let's say this is a Kiwi Barbecue Boss is a New Zealand-wide online store. They sell, on their website online. So we want to target a whole of New Zealand and people aged between 30 and 60, and we want to target both genders. And now what's really important here is that we want to target their interests. So if we type in barbecue, probably have to write the whole word, barbecue. Now Facebook is going to go out and find, so we can see here the potential reach. We can reach 700,000 people that have interest in barbecues. And we can go further here. This is where the Facebook algorithm is very smart and finds related topics. Grilling, barbecue, grill, meat. So I'm not going to go too much into it, but now we can reach almost 1 million people that have these interests. So we can make sure that our ads are displayed in front of these people that are going to be most likely to buy. This is, however, a topic for itself. It's really technical. I just wanted to show an example that you do have the tool with paid advertising to put your video in front of the people that will most likely be engaging with. So going back to our presentation, we can now talk briefly about the different social media channels. I don't want to go too much into this because, as you can see, it's a bit of a boring slide. It's got lots of numbers. You can take a screenshot if you want and look at it afterwards. But this just shows the different type of platforms that you can use when publishing video. So as you can see here, there's the different type of monthly users, Facebook being the largest. And then we have different type of largest demographics here. So as you may know, TikTok is aimed at a younger demographic, together with YouTube, and Facebook is, slightly older. We can see different type of consumption. So TikTok actually overthrew YouTube with watch time recently, like more than 45 minutes a day people spend on this platform, which is just like unreal. So very good for marketing opportunities there. The ideal length as well of the video that you should be having when you put out content on the platforms. And then if you're going to run ads, there's going to be average cost per click. So if you want to drive traffic to your sales page, you're going to pay on average different costs for a click. So for example, LinkedIn is quite expensive, but then we go to Facebook or TikTok, that's quite cheap. So it's just good to have an idea of where you're standing, what channels you have, because this will definitely impact your strategy further. So this is an example here of, if you want to go down the organic route, let's say, okay, you don't have any ad budget, or you can't afford to spend, a couple of grand per month, because that's what it costs usually, to engage with the ad agency, or if you want to do it yourself. Let's say you want to go down completely the organic route. Okay, this is like a massive organic strategy. I'm not saying that you have to do the same. This is just really showing all the examples that you could go if you really wanted to go to town with it. But I'm just going to break it down here. So some of the options that you might have. So let's say you have your weekly core content. Okay, let's go back to this barbecue brand example. Let's say they put out one recipe per week on how to grill meat, how to host the perfect barbecue party, etc. So they decided they want to do a video per week, and they're going to put this on YouTube, right? Once this video is on YouTube, this video then is going to be embedded on a blog post, and this blog post then is going to be sent out to all their email subscribers. Okay, so we have the first channel here, which is email and website. Then after the video is published, they can put, let's say this video is like an 8-minute video of a recipe. Okay, 8-minute for Facebook is probably not going to work because people don't like too much long content on Facebook, right? So what they can do though is that they can edit a teaser that is perhaps 1 minute long or 30 seconds, saying, hey guys, we have this new video coming up, be tuned. And then 7 days after that, they can put a thumbnail on the Facebook post linking the actual YouTube video, but this needs to be in the comments. Otherwise, Facebook will penalize you because you want to push people off the platform. Okay, this is like an extra point that you can do. Usually, if you want to keep it simple, having a shorter version for social media as a secondary channel, such as Facebook, will work just fine. Okay, and same goes for LinkedIn. Once again, you can do a 30-second teaser or like a 1-minute teaser, and then 7 days after, post the actual YouTube video, but with a link in the comments. Otherwise, the platform will penalize you. Do another 30-second, or this can be the same teaser, right? So you can have the same 30-second teaser across Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram Reel. Okay, and then that reel can be published on your story to get further views. And then 7 days later, you could go and edit this video here as an Instagram TV format. So that Instagram TV video can be up to 8 minutes, and this can be shared to your story. And TikTok obviously plays an important part as well. If this brand has a TikTok account, they should actually film, while they film this video, someone should jump in and film the same content on their phone, okay, like literally do a TikTok and post that on TikTok. And then another step that you can do is actually save this TikTok and then post the TikTok as an Instagram Reel 14 days after. So this content here is usually the same, but because this is filmed in a different way, that's also more interesting. It'll be interesting to test, which one performs better, because this is all going to be professionally filmed, obviously, and this is like mobile. And then they can go further by, stripping out. Probably doesn't work well in this example of the barbecue, but any other business could go and strip out the audio of this video and do an MP3 and put a video out, teaser on Pinterest. So once again, this was a bit of an overwhelming strategy, I suppose, and this will obviously change depending on any business. This is not a one size fits all. Every business is different. So this is like the bigger picture. This is like how far and how hectic the strategy can be. But for you, generally, if you have one primary channel, for example, Facebook and Instagram, you can do a long 3-minute video on Facebook and do a 30-second teaser on Instagram. Okay, so that will sort of vary according to your business. Cool. So after you've decided what channels the video is going to be on, it's time to plan the production. So, and this was quite a mind shift change as well for me, when I learned about this strategy, because usually people just do a video first. Oh, let's do a video. And then they think, oh, where are we going to put it now? But production, this is why it's important for you to understand all these points prior, because that will actually now determine how we're going to produce the video, right? And obviously you have two options. You can do it yourself. And nowadays it's really amazing because we have all these tools to do videos ourselves, right? Instagram Reels and TikTok, are amazing platforms where we can just pump out a lot of content, right? Obviously depends if your customers are hanging out on these platforms or not. Or if you want to hire someone to do a professional video, for example, if you're like a dentist or a lawyer or someone working in the health sector, you obviously want to come across as professional. Excuse me. So you're better off to actually outsource your video production, or you can do both. You can do an approach where you do beautiful branded videos in the first place, to attract these people, to raise awareness, to position a brand, and then film some DIY content, just to be sort of on the go and to connect people further on a level when it's about the consideration stage. So whenever it comes to production, you have to have a media company mindset. This is something that Gary Vee evangelizes a lot. So this barbecue, going back to the barbecue company, feeling really, might have a steak for lunch after this. We're talking a lot about barbecue today, but this barbecue company puts, on this plan that I planned out earlier, putting out content about how to marinate the chicken, how to cook the perfect steak. This is all like pieces of content that are going to help people to go through this customer journey and convert ultimately. So you have to think of, a lot of topics to come up with so that, your customers are going to be, finding different touch points around this customer journey. So if you want to produce the video yourself or work with a production company, it's always handy to have a script. This is obviously depending now on the type of content that you have established earlier. So if you want to do an explainer video, you will need a script, right? Or a storyboard, and also like a shot list, define what different shots you want, and, talent, who is going to be on the video. Are we going to hire an actor, or is it going to be one of our team members in our company? And also the gear, what gear we're going to use. Is it going to be on the phone, or what location are we going to use, basically? And so now to compile this all together, obviously these slides are very, there's a lot of information here. I've put together this document here where you can basically sum up all the findings of the presentation. I'm going to share this in the chat for you guys to download, so you can have access to it. So, whenever you're planning a video, you can basically come here and jot down all the points as we've done in this presentation. So starting off with the audience, who do we want to reach? The goal, what is the main purpose of the video? Content, what is the core messaging? So, and then we have distribution, what are the primary distribution channels? What are the secondary distribution channels? Are we going to send out an email perhaps? Or are we going to put it on the blog? So this document really helps you to plan through your video marketing strategy for each video, so that you can have a clear roadmap when deciding how to go about your video marketing strategy. And once again, there's no one size fits all approach because every business is different. But yeah, I hope that this presentation has been helpful for you. And yeah, if there is any other questions or that we can take now, I'll be more than happy to answer those.
First, I just want to say there were so many elements of this presentation that were like not just like aha moments, but like mind-blowing moments. I almost want to like revisit one of your slides just so that I can like look at it once again. It was a part of that sales funnel that you had, and it was the slide that had maybe go through. So it was the one where you talked about how they go down one, maybe two more. It was where you talked about how then they showed what equipment you should have. And
no, that was not in the funnel.
Oh, it was right in this funnel though, I felt like.
Let me just go on. So this is the different type. Now this was the example with the barbecue, and this was like what type of videos you can use.
It was the Oxfam. It was the Oxfam one, but that was fine. That one's okay too. I just like it really. It started to make sense. Yeah, where I was like, oh, okay. Then we're removing barriers. All right, you're like, so first you're attracting me in, then you're giving me more like little teasers, and now you're telling me how you can make it, how it's accessible to me. And now you're telling me how to like continue on that journey I'm in now, and how can I continue to grow in with you? You know what I mean? Like, okay, let's get you ready.
Yeah.
I loved that. And then the other part I absolutely love was, to be honest, the organic distribution. I've never seen a chart like that.
Yeah, it's very like, as I said, this is really like, for small business owners, I'm going to be upfront with you. For small businesses,
lot, right?
Unless you don't have a team, this is going to be very hard. But as you see, this approach here is really...
Maybe we can do a bit here and there, like that.
Totally.
Even just the awareness that that's possible. It was like, oh, okay. So this is how you create this much content out of one piece, I guess.
100%.
So super
that's exactly
cool.
Right. And, we could go even down further, and, out of this, let's say, okay, this recipe is, has 5 steps, right? First, mix up the marinade, put it on the chicken, chuck it on the grill. We could also like non-video content out of it, like carousels, right? To go on Instagram, that is the same information, but just displayed differently. And once again, this is going, I'm going to be upfront with you. This is probably really hard to keep up as a small business. But you don't have to do it all once again. You don't have to be on platforms. So, this is probably something that like large companies would do, like, national or international, because they have a team behind themselves. But, if you are saying just on TikTok and Instagram Reels, then, go to town with it. You can.
I think some of it is quite doable, like,
totally,
especially with apps like Clipchamp and stuff like that, where you can easily, people like myself who aren't great at editing can like edit things down, and download them. I'll put a link to Clipchamp in the chat. Just getting a few tool, like great presentation. Thank you so much for a clear presentation.
No worries.
It was super clear. Before we go any further and I check the other sites for questions, I just wanted to let you guys know other sessions that Andrea is doing. So he's doing on the 14th of October, which I believe is next week. We're doing a selling on camera. So that's going to be about smartphone videos 101. Yeah. So that's going to be stuff that's super accessible to all of us, which is going to be really great. And then we're doing another session on the 3rd of November for TikTok for business. So that has been something I've been plugging a lot in sessions because it's such an emerging platform and it has a real presence, and all of us oldies need to get on board. So just 100%. Some more comments like, wow, mind blowing from some of the other platforms I'm just checking out, but no questions. Cool. And I think that might be due to the fact that it was just so well presented.
I'd like to know like what perhaps if people could drop in the chat where they what type of industry they're in, just an example of
sure. If you guys can drop those in the chat, that'd be really cool. And if you're watching this at a later date, Yeah, if you're watching this later and you haven't tuned in live, feel free to email support@digitalboost.co.nz and we can pass on that information.
Actually, where do you want me to share this video strategy document? Do you want me to send you a link now in the chat?
Yeah. If you email it to me, I will upload it as a learning summary to the recording on the chat. So just some things coming in here. I'm an artist. I'm a business coach. Oh, I know, Andrea.
Is that Simon?
Okay. Yeah, I have a question here. It says, if you have limited resources, time and budget, is it better to spend more on marketing the video or paid advertising? There's two parts, so I'll start with that.
Yeah. So sorry, can you repeat the question again?
So the question is, if you've got limited resources like time and budget, is it better to spend more on making the video or paid advertising?
Well, it's definitely about distribution, right? Because, you can make a kick-ass video, but then if nobody sees it, what's the point? So either go on the platform. What's this person? Be good to know what's the business or niche that they're in.
Okay. Yeah, maybe drop that in the chat. The second part of the question, maybe that might be them. Oh, Muay Thai.
Muay Thai? Yeah. Oh, man, amazing. I do Muay Thai as well, so that's awesome to see. I would definitely say start on platforms that give you the most bang for your buck. And to be honest, I follow a lot of Muay Thai trainers on Instagram and Muay Thai. They just show like tutorials of like combos, what kick and punch to throw. And this is like a really, really low budget production, right? But it's helpful, right? So it's really that consideration stage where you educate the people. So in your case, don't worry about production value. Just trying to, put out helpful content. I think personally, like just do little combos videos. That's amazing because I like just devour to that content, as well. So definitely focus on these platforms. TikTok and Instagram, that's where I'll do the most short content tutorials of combos. That's the way I would go about it. Totally. And then if you don't get enough reach, if you want to sponsor some of these, like put ad spend behind it, don't worry about production value too much because it's really about, how you can educate, your audience. So take these existing videos on Instagram and TikTok and put some ad spend behind those. Don't worry about, if you've got another $2 or $3 grand lying around, you can hire a professional, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you'll get better results. And I'm saying that as a video producer, okay? Yeah. I'm kind of like shooting myself in the foot, but I want to be honest about it because this is how the world is going right now, right? Yeah. So it's good to empower business owners and tell them, what to do. So, yeah.
Yeah. Another question here. It says, I have this plan to make a video about my manufacturing, but the facility is not very amazing looking. Do you have any recommendation on how to do this or what to maybe focus on, like more close-ups of machine than room shots?
Yeah, I was going to say, if you could tell me again, like exactly what are you manufacturing and who is this video for? Who is the target audience? Like, do you want to sell your manufacturing plant or do you want to promote the products that you manufacture? Because that all is a different, what's your goal once again? So if you tell me that, what is your goal with this video, then I can give you a couple of examples. But generally speaking, if you have a wide space that doesn't look that nice, close-up shots are really helpful, or really far away shots, like really for a drone, if you have access to a drone. I don't know in a factory if you can fly a drone, but once again, if you want to show the manufacturing process, then just do a close-up of, the product going through the conveyor belt, etc. I filmed in a meat factory before, in a meat works, and it wasn't a pretty picture either. But I mean, if you're trying to promote that, it's just what it is, right? That's the product. So you can zoom in order to make that more interesting, but it really comes down to, who's the video for and what are you trying to achieve with it.
It's knitwear wanting to promote local manufacturing to my customers to help sell the product. So you want to sell the product essentially.
Okay. So show the behind the scenes of it. So I think it's quite cool. Like tell the story, how you guys started, in which year, for example, that storytelling approach, and really just close-ups of the knitting and then that transformation process from the raw material a bit of like, the program, how it's done. People love that stuff because it's like a behind the scenes. They know the final product, but they don't know how it's done. So I think you're really onto something here, showing that manufacturing process. But yeah, I mean, obviously the factory doesn't look pretty, but if you want to show that, that's fine. You can zoom in a bit more to show, the knitting, how it all comes together. So that's a way that I would go about it. Yeah.
Cool. We've got just folks telling us what the other industries are in, like dance school, wardrobe, and bespoke joinery.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and just some other comments like great content.
Awesome.
Yeah. Awesome.
And
session. Andrea is the boss.
Thanks for that. And obviously, if you guys want to, because this was just like a roadmap, as you see, every industry is different. If you guys want to, work with me one-on-one, to lay out some of this strategy, feel free to get in touch with me. And, your business may be eligible for funding because this video marketing strategy, I'm a registered service provider with Regional Business Partners. So you might be eligible for funding, if you want to put out this strategy together and go a bit deeper than, what we've done today. I hope that wasn't too overwhelming, but
no, it was perfect. It was so great. And then
Glad.
Just a follow-up comment. Awesome. Thank you. I may have missed this as I joined late, but is there a simple editing tool you would recommend for videos shot on the phone?
I use Adobe Rush. It's a paid ad, costs $9 a month, but I really like it because it's very simple to use. And I mean, $9 a month is totally affordable. It's from Adobe, so that Adobe does all these professional ones like Adobe Premiere, etc.
Would you say that we're going to talk about that a little bit on the 14th of October when we talk about smartphone videos?
Yeah. Okay. This is going to, I'm actually going to cover that. And Adobe Rush, there's plenty of tutorials out there if you want to get started. So perhaps to the section on the 14th, this is going to be for people that mostly want to promote themselves with their personal brands. So not so much if you have a product. This session is aimed more at people that want to sell themselves on camera. So growing their personal brand. I just want to be clear because I don't want people to sign up and this doesn't sound like me. So, if you're a service provider, like a mortgage broker or a financial advisor that wants to put out more video content on their phone, for example, LinkedIn or Instagram, that session is going to be for you. If you want to create videos with your smartphone because you want to show your knitting products, that's probably not the best session for you. But
I guess we've been talking a lot on here about the hero's journey and like telling your story. And so maybe that even if you do have knitwear, you might want to do some kind of exposé on yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, you raised a very good point there. It's, people buy from people, they don't buy from brands. So, if you sell knitwear, you have to have a good sort of, mix in the video content you do. Obviously show the final product, but talk a bit about yourself or give like knitting tutorials. Even though you want to sell it, you might, people might see, no, this is way too hard, I'm going to buy it off you. You know what I mean? So, definitely, it's always good to put yourself in front of the camera as a business owner because people want to know, simply learn from you, like as I said, people buy from people, not from brands.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love finishing on that kind of note. And somebody did say, could they get that template to the PDF? That will be available on the Digital Boost website. So digitalboost.co.nz. These videos get uploaded daily. And underneath the videos, there's often a learning summary. Not everybody provides these things, but obviously Andrea is going to provide us with that. So it'll be uploaded as a PDF on the thing, and you'll be able to access that whether you're using the app or you're using the website itself. Andrea's video planning form would be great. Yeah, that's going to be as a PDF on the website, Mahi. Okay. All right. Well, that's it for us today. I'm loving this. Oh, I feel like energized. I want to get out there and get my phone out there and get myself going.
Yeah, totally. But make sure you plan first. Don't produce, start from the planning. That's the thing, right?
Okay. Slow it down.
It's good that I can get you fired out. That's a good point.
Yeah, I'm all fired up, and I know all
Awesome.
of our digital boosters are too. Ooh, I keep on flipping around. There we go. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Ka kite. Thank you, Andrea, for your time today. And
Thanks so much for having me.
coming up sessions. See you
Okay.
next
See
time.
you guys.